Hey guys, it's AsePlayer here, and I'm bringing you another Ace commentaries. And today we have the second match of Antis versus Zomar. So I said last time that I would be commentating over this one because once again they are very top players, and since there is multiple games of them facing off, I thought why not? So this is a Chaos versus Order on Swamp, and without further ado, we can begin. Alright, so right off the bat, we can see that Zomar is going to be going for an Archidon start, while Antis does the only start Chaos can do, which is 2 Crawlers, 2 Miners. And we could see that Zomar will be following the Archidon up with a Miner, so he is going for a slightly more greedy kind of start. And honestly, I think that's completely fine because you will have that map control and that pretty much guaranteed tower with that Archidon. So we can see Archie Sucks Ducks over here is stacking up his crawler count. Bomber should be following pretty soon to help try to take out that Archidon. But for now, he's going to go for another miner since Zomar isn't really going to be pushing in anytime soon. So that's completely fine. He is getting a 5th crawler. And if he doesn't start going for bombers now, I'm going to say he's going a little too crawler heavy. And we can see over here Zomar is, looks like saving up for his second Archidon. So there you go. His second Archidon actually does Q. And Antis gets away with that crawler nearly dying, but not completely. And he's actually really close to killing that Archidon, but he's not going to completely kill it, but it's almost dead. And even that halt at the castle was also another close call. It was almost done for. Alright, so we can see he's actually getting a third one, and Antis now has a bomber. He's going for more economy, which he pretty much is allowed to do at this point. That looks like a dead Archidon to me. It was brought in a little too deep, but those crawlers are going to take some hard hits. Even with that Archidon getting hit, he's still going to lose a lot. And it looks like that Archidon does make it without getting bombed. And the second Archidon also survives. So that actually looked like a pretty negative trade for Antis right there, as Zomar has 2 Archidons and a sword on the field. However, Antis just has the economy advantage. He went for mana a couple seconds ago. I didn't notice that, which is my bad. And he's pretty much guaranteed a kill here. So Zomar just bites the bullet and sends his weakest Archidon out to take the bomb hit, which is a pretty good decision in my opinion. So it might, yeah, so deads will be the call for Antis, which honestly I completely agree. On a short map, deads are a little more effective, I think, than wings, since there is a shorter distance. Now he's going to do mass praying to avoid his Archidons dying, but as soon as that dead comes out, Zomar will be forced to back up. He does not got poison yet, but I'm sure he's going to get it pretty soon. Alright, let's check out what Zomar is doing over here. He's getting more Archidons and Sword Wrath, and also garrisoning his injured units, so that way the bombers can't just like one-shot him just because they're weak. And that's a good call because since Antis isn't pressing in right now, there's no reason to keep your injured units on the field. But we can see poison is being researched, and that can be deadly really early on. Zomar hasn't even tapped into mana yet, actually, which is pretty crazy. At this point, he should probably have a Spiriton queued up, but he hasn't even started grabbing mana. I think he might start soon, but apparently it will not be right now, so we'll wait for that. He does realize that poison was researched, but he's going to try to do what he can against these deads with these swords. And it looks like Antis might get some snipes with the Archidons. That dead does get a poison hit, so that was actually really good. That's a dead sword. That Archidon is forced to garrison, but I think it should live. Another Archidon gets hit. So this is actually not looking good for Zomar right now. He's still not going for mana. And against deads, you need that Spiriton with that shield wall and those Merrics, but he hasn't started getting any mana. Here we go, finally getting mana at 4 minutes 16 seconds. Way too late in my opinion. And Antis is just stacking up his jugs and his deads. And he actually got a Marokai. I did not even see that. He does not have Hellfists researched yet, but that's not that big of a deal. If he can just single out those Archidons, reaping them one by one, that could actually be super effective. So you can see that Archidon is actually going to live, surprisingly. And now it's dead. But it had a chance to live. And we can see that Marokai walking around like a pimp. The Reap is queued, but it is cancelled as Zomar backs off. He got a Castle Archer and Fire Arrows, which is a pretty good call. He does have a ton of Archidons, and he needs to play defensive, so I completely agree with those upgrades. And still, alright, so he does get his first tank out to help deal with the deads. And Zomar is actually doing a pretty good job of tanking for his Archidon that gets reaped, surprisingly. And now things are actually looking a little better for Zomar, but he doesn't have shield wall or anything to help tank some hits. And Archidons are just getting reaped left and right. And it's not looking too good for Zomar here. He's going to need to pull some good clutches and favorable trades in order to come back here. He does have another Spiriton queued, but he is temporarily very vulnerable. And I'm surprised that Antis isn't pressing in right now, because even though he doesn't have a jug or anything, Zomar definitely doesn't have anything, and at least the deads are tanky. So he does reap the miner. I do not agree with that. It was already going to die. It was more of a suicide card to help tank for those Archidons, and he did kind of take the bait there. But it's not too bad. Zomar is now having too much mana, which is quite surprising because he's started so late, but he isn't really buying anything with it. Like, at this point, he should probably be grabbing a Merrick or something. But he doesn't have any tanks or anything. And yeah, that's going to be GG. So Zomar, his main downfall was he took way too long to grab mana. And I'm actually surprised that the Marokai worked for Antis, because usually you don't see Marokais in play at all, really. I would assume he would have went for Medusa or something, because he could just like guaranteed stone things and create a poison pool to stop his units from getting past like the gold mines. But he does go for the Marokai and he does pull it off, so style points to him as well. And that's going to be wrapping up the video. So thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!